think we've fed horse until it can't be fed anymore.
Fed horse, what?
Well, you're not supposed to say beat a dead horse because PETA thinks that's offensive. So you change it to feed a fed horse.
That makes some sense. Yeah, okay.
What was the next topic?
Okay. So we talk about Christmas.
So transition.
So Christmas. I think
it needs to be about Jesus, but the Christ back in Christmas instead of Xmas. So I get the X because makes sense. But like we make it now more about the gifts. It's just like the kids are like, oh, I want this. Oh, I want this. Oh, I want this, and they focus so much on the gifts that they forget about God and Christ being born and Mary and Joseph and the wise men and all of them.
Yeah. Well, and again, like.
Just gonna take these off.
This isn't, like, kind of a thing. But
why edit the video? This
Christmas
looks pretty
did
great.
originate. I think we should look back at the history of Christmas. So originally, it was actually a holiday to celebrate the sun, and not like the Son of God, but the sun as in the giant ball of fire floating above. Well, it's not floating above us, but
it's the giant star that is in orbit.
Around us?
No, we are in orbit around.
Is the Earth also flat?
No.
Welcome to the 1700s, people.
Copernicus is rolling over in his grave.
I'm sorry. Okay.
So the Catholic Church originated the idea of transitioning it.
Good old Catholics.
Transitioned it into a holiday to celebrate Jesus. Just like Halloween is actually All Hallows Eve, because that's a day to celebrate saints. Just a fun fact.
Wait, so it's supposed to be celebrate saints, not Satan?
Halloween doesn't worship Satan.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
It's just
never mind. I'm dumb.
It's the historical idea that is when the walls between like the spirit world and the physical world are like the thinnest, so there's like more supernatural events happening on this.
But it's all baloney. Just saying, because supernatural events.
Baloney is a supernatural event.
That is true, though.
I agree that it's terrible.
I was thinking of God, but okay.
Have you ever had fried bologna? Or have you ever smelt burnt bologna? Burnt bologna actually smells pretty good until it gets too burnt, and then it smells awful. I said bologna.
Just to make a long story short, Christmas was originally about Christ. St. Nicholas came along later because actually St. Nicholas Day is, I believe, the day before Christmas. And that was because St. Nick defended the deity of Christ. So he wasn't just this like fat, jolly guy who gave away money.
Didn't he kill somebody? I felt like he killed somebody.
No, he didn't.
Did he beat somebody or something?
Don't think so. But he wasn't a clean-cut person either. He was very rough and gruff.
I saw a meme about St. Nicholas where he said like, I'm here to give gifts and punch priests, and I'm all out of gifts.
Yeah, I believe that is some of the stuff that he did get very volatile over protecting Christ.
Like the Russian Santa from Rise of the Guardians.
Yeah, I love him. He's great.
Yeah, and the whole premise, like, where did the giving come from? So that's where St. Nicholas was a very rich man. His family was very rich, and he just gave away stuff. I know there was a group of women in particular that that 3 women, they did not have enough money for their dowry. So what he did was he got 3 golden spheres, balls, and he threw it in their window and it landed in their stocking. That's actually where we also get the symbol for pawn shop. Yeah, that's kind of the origin of Christmas. That's why we celebrate it. But, why is it important for us to treat it differently now?
Again, he's so much smarter than us. Me. Well, I feel like Christmas has turned into a commercial holiday where all it's about is finding the perfect presents for the perfect people, especially kids, because, they're picky and they're kids and they're
I feel like
kids.
most of your complaints are like with capitalism.
What's capitalism?
Wait, is she a communist? I'm not living in the same house as a communist.
I'm
family.
sorry. I'm not very political.
So capitalism is the economic system where you get the most profit for the least amount of cost.
What?
So you
You try to make big money by spending little money.
you make a little bit of a thing.
Well, and I think really the big issue would be more of this consumerist mentality. Like America is highly consumerist.
So
Give me, give me, give me.
people
Yeah.
buying lead to consumerism, or does consumerism lead to people buying more?
I feel like
I think it kind of works in like a circle. Sort of.
So the more people buy, the more they want, so they buy more.
How?
Yeah.
How?
I mean, that's actually a law
circle is
in
round.
economics.
No, but now I started thinking about something else where like you do this, but then like you get your fingers going in an opposite direction. I'm sorry. That was like a brain fart. I'm sorry.
The idea is that everyone is wanting to just consume everything. Picture this. If you're familiar with the game Kirby, this character would do is consume everything around him. He literally would become basically
It's
like
the
a black
picture of
hole.
a normal child. The cat in the background.
Yeah. So I
So we're
think
just sucking in everything and around us, and then we become what we suck in.
You are what you eat.
yeah, consumerism. It's
Consumerism bad.
yeah, like again, it's running off of this just dark nature within people.
Where we want everything that we want when we want it, right when we want it, no matter what, because we feel entitled, because we live in a free country, because it's all because of me, because I did this and I did that and now you need to give me this because I did this.
I think
it's
it's more
so
of an
wrong.
I deserve because I'm a human.
Yeah.
This
So
human
what
rights.
does a human deserve for being human?
They deserve death.
No.
That's dark.
Yep. And every pro-lifer has just cringed.
Well,
I'm not talking
Sorry.
about spirituality necessarily. I was talking about like
Just human.
constitution.
I know, but like I thought about the
Well-
Bible verse when you said that, and I was just like, we deserve death because like we're
Humans
human
don't
and we're
deserve death
stupid.
because they're humans. Humans deserve death because
They
We're
sin.
stupid.
human rights, basically, according to the Constitution, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and then whatever the 11 human rights are according
10.
to like the UN or
Oh,
whatever.
who cares about the UN? The UN is evil.
United Nations.
But so
So, do you deserve the right to free healthcare as a human being?
I don't
do not.
necessarily think you deserve it, but I do think that it's needed. You get what I'm saying?
We need to find better
So-
health care plans and health care ways. But
Well-
I do admit that the equipment and all of that is expensive, so that's why they have to charge so much. But it makes people mad because they charge that much. But they need that money
So,
to pay. And
I think that the big thing comes down to heart. Like it is a very much a heart issue within America. It's like this cancer that has entered into the American society's heart, and that is this me first mentality. This this I need to look out for number one kind of an idea. And I think that, yes, some of that's probably come from capitalism. I don't think that socialism would stop that. I think the interesting idea is that this government constructed socialism, yes, isn't supported in the Bible, but a publicly supported socialism is. If you go look at the early Acts church, they were actually supporting each other.
no, I'm not. Just kidding.
well, socialism works on a small scale basis because on a family is socialist. If one person makes, or if two people make all the money, they distribute the income evenly, basically.
Yeah.
The kids don't work the same type of job as the parents do. So a family is a socialist
Yeah.
kind of system, but it doesn't scale up well because once you get more than just a few people, then
What's on your fingernail?
people who work the most,
It's your thumb.
it's a bruise,
Oh, why is there a bruise there?
feel like they don't have to work because they're not getting their fair share.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you have a bunch of people in a class and, you know, a lot of people work really hard and get A's, but most people don't work hard and they get C's. If you just level out all the scores and just give everybody a B, then the people who make A's are going to stop working as hard.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I think that's the thing, is I think we've lost sight of what how things are designed. Because and we have to acknowledge like how things are designed currently. But basically, so the more things that are telling us how to do stuff, the less we can go do for ourselves. The more that we are told.
But the more things that other people do for us, the less we'll do for ourselves.
Yes, and then the less freedom we have. Because, for instance, if you never make your own food, so let's just say your parents make your food right now. Let's just say that. Do you have much control over what you're going to eat?
No.
No. It's like a 2-year-old kid, right?
Or unless you have like an annoying sister, aka me, who's always like, no, I don't want to eat that. That was me, just saying.
Yeah, then you get the one weirdo.
So you have one type of non-freedom where other people do things for you and you don't know how to do it for yourself and you have no control over what gets done to you. But then what about the other side where you have too much freedom?
Yeah, and
then you have no boundaries or rules or guidelines and you can just do whatever you want. And
So
you've
just
never
like-
had to be able to exercise self-control.
Yeah, people don't know the boundaries anymore because it's just like, it started out perfect like way, like thousands of years ago. But over time, it's just gotten worse and worse and worse, where we lose values, we lose meanings, we lose all of this stuff over the years. And now we've lost a lot of stuff and a lot of meanings and a lot of how life should be, just because people make mistakes and like it's hard to explain. Just we've lost a lot of valuable information.
Maybe. Some people would argue, though, that we're doing better than we've ever done in human history, so...
That is true, because we have all this technology and we have all this
on a
advanced
worldwide
medical...
basis, there's less people in poverty now than there's ever been.
Which is amazing.
But that idea is also based off of dollar signs.
Yeah.
And so it's like fewer people in poverty. Yes, that means that in many cases we're doing good, but we also have to look at morally. Like, where are we morally? You go look at things like, sexual violence, sex trafficking, drug abuse, gambling.
Well, crime is actually at the lowest point that it's ever been, according to the FBI, since forever. Like, crime has actually been has been statistically decreasing over time. There was an uptick in 2015 for some reason. You can't blame that on Trump, or can you?
You can blame everything on Trump.
But then, so like, I don't know, it's statistically the safest point in our history we've ever been, but like, people are terrified of letting their kids go outside for some reason. When like, it's violent crime is decreasing, but we hear about it more, so we think that it's increasing.
Yeah, and I think, again...
So are we regressing, or does it just feel like we're regressing, or are we just progressing, or...
I think in some ways we're regressing morally, but as far as advancing as the human race, I want like evolving, but not as in like monkeys evolving into humans or humans evolving into monkeys evolving, but like growing, we're moving better. But morally, we're just moving backwards. In most ways. Some ways we occasionally take that one step forward.
Does this have to do with Christmas again?
I have no idea.
Yeah, we
got onto like the gifts and stuff.
Yeah.
And now we're on to
So,
all this.
how can we return to the heart of
Rabbit
Christmas?
trails.
How can we return to the heart of Christmas?
I don't know. Maybe
If the
just
world was
everybody is
perfect.
responsible for how they interpret it, and they celebrate it how they want to celebrate it, and then maybe there is no universally accepted way for how to celebrate a holiday.
That is
That's true.
That is very true. And I think one thing is that I believe the heart of businesses maybe should try to approach a more neutral stance and try to kind of make more openings for family.
Yeah.
I do feel like make it more available for those who wish to spend more time with Thanksgiving, so that they're not having to feel like, because for instance, there are poor families who, it's like the only way they're going to get Christmas gifts is if they actually go and they find that one awesome sale during Black Friday, which you can scroll back into 300 hours of video to figure out what we said about that. But making it more available so that then these parents, that make less money can go and say, hey, we're gonna, after we put the kids to bed, let's go Black Friday shopping. We're gonna get them, maybe that nice Lego set or something.
Legos. They're amazing. Get your kid Legos. They promote mind and imagination. Get Legos. Love Legos.
You'd almost think that we were sponsored by Legos.
Yeah, that or coffee.
No, I think it's easy to think that like it's that there's like a universal sort of American ideal for like holidays and stuff like that, but I don't know, like there's so many different types of peoples and holidays and stuff like that, but like I don't know, everybody probably has a different opinion. So I don't know, like it'd be nice if there wasn't such like rampant consumerism and stuff like that, but then at the same time that's just sort of a sign of economic health.
That's true. I mean, again,
So I
America.
don't know, like there's this idea that we're getting less moral, but then statistically there's less crime, so are we really? So I don't know, but there's like more, or there's less religion, but like people still, I think,
People believe
accept
that there's
some sort of like spirituality is good for you. Meditation has
Yoga.
health benefits to it. So it's kind of like, I don't know, I think things are changing, but I don't necessarily think that things are getting worse. It just looks different, and I don't know.
Thank you. You're an amazing mother. Pretzels are mine. You can have the checks.
Check, please. But anyway, it was a good discussion, I think.
Yeah.
Long discussion, but a good discussion.
Baloney.
Baloney.
The finger thing still, makes no sense.
Well, I'm out of coffee, so that means this video must come to an end. Got coffee grounds in my mouth.
Scrum diddly umptious, people.
This is part 2.
Go video editing.
Thank you for watching, if indeed you did watch.
Please subscribe.
Until the next video, be reasonable, people.